If you have lost friends during the process of the climb, I don't think it is something that you should lament or be upset about. I think that it is a sign of growth. Friday night. Your phone used to never stop buzzing. Tonight, it's completely silent. No plans, no texts, no one checking in. But you did everything right. You set the boundary. You walked away from what was hurting you. You healed. So why does it feel like you're being punished? Nobody tells you the real cost of healing. Before it sets you free, it makes you disappear. Because society sold us a very specific illusion about self-improvement. You are told that getting better feels good right away. You are told that the moment you choose yourself, the moment you set a boundary, or the moment you walk away from toxic habits, the universe will immediately reward you. We expect our friends to clap for us. We expect our family to celebrate our new peace. We expect the people around us to look at our growth and say, "I am so proud of you for changing." You think that healing means surrounding yourself with light, love, and endless support. You think that once you start fixing your inner world, your outer world instantly becomes warmer, kinder, and more fulfilling. That is the story you see everywhere. That is the myth, but the truth is much quieter, much heavier, and much harder to accept. The truth is that real healing often means losing old friends, old places, and old comfort first. Before healing feels good, it brings loneliness. Before it feels freeing, it brings grief. Here is the 5-second test to know if you are actually healing or just coping. Notice what happens when you have a completely free evening. If your first instinct is to panic and reach out to someone who drains you just to escape the silence, you are still bound to your old patterns. But if you sit quietly, even when it hurts, you have officially entered the work. When you step out of the circle you used to belong to, you stand entirely by yourself for a long time. You stand entirely by yourself. You lose the noise that used to distract you. You lose the dynamic that used to keep you comfortable. You lose the people who only knew how to love the broken, unhealed version of who you were. That initial phase does not feel victorious. It feels costly. Imagine sitting in your room on a Friday night a few months back. Your phone would have been ringing. You would have had plans. Maybe those plans involved staying out too late, complaining about your life, or engaging in drama that drained your energy. But back then, even if those things were bad for you, they made you feel included. They gave you a place to belong. Now, look at where you are tonight. You sit in that exact same room, but your phone is completely silent. You have been reading, reflecting, and trying to make better choices. You stopped participating in gossip. You stopped going to places that leave you empty. You stopped reaching out to people who only call when they need something from you. So tonight, your phone is completely quiet. There are no notifications. There are no party invites. There are no frantic texts asking for advice. You sit on the edge of your bed, looking at the silent screen. You look around your room, and the silence feels deafening. You realize, with a heavy knot in your stomach, that you no longer fit into the world you spent years building. You have stopped participating in the habits that kept you tethered to your old social circle. But nothing new has arrived to replace them yet. The old life is gone, but the new life has not shown up. You are stuck in the middle, sitting in a heavy, empty space. You look at your reflection and ask yourself the hardest question of all. If fixing my life is supposed to be good for me, Why does it feel as though I am being punished? If you have felt that silence, you need to hear this directly. You did not make a mistake. When you start sitting in that quiet room, your brain will try to convince you to go back. It will tell you that the toxic friendship was not that bad. It will tell you that an unhealthy relationship was better than being alone. It will tell you to lower your standards just so you can have someone to talk to again. But here is what you need to understand about the people you left behind. Some people in your life only liked the unhealed version of you. They liked you when you had no boundaries. They liked you when you were always available to absorb their problems. They liked you when your low self-esteem made them feel superior. They liked you when your unhealthy habits matched their unhealthy habits, because your presence validated their choices. When you heal, you break the contract. When you start saying no, when you stop tolerating disrespect, and when you start valuing your time, you become uncomfortable for them to be around. Your growth acts as a mirror. It shows them what they are refusing to fix in their own lives. And because most people would rather protect their comfort than face their own flaws, they will drift away from you. They might get angry. They might call you distant, arrogant, or say that you have changed. They are right. You have changed. But they loved your brokenness because your brokenness served them. Why does growth demand such a heavy price? Why must healing feel so isolating? Psychologically, your brain hates change. It craves familiarity, even if that familiarity is toxic, painful, or destructive. To your nervous system, predictable pain feels safer than unpredictable growth. When you heal, you break old behavioral patterns. You cut off the quick dopamine hits that used to come from chaos, drama, and validation. Stopping those habits leaves a massive gap in your daily routine. That gap is called a vacuum. In physics, a vacuum is an empty space where matter has been removed. In psychology, it is the quiet space left behind when you clear out toxic habits and people. That vacuum feels terrifying. It brings loneliness, boredom, and isolation. But you must understand the core truth, that emptiness is not proof that you are failing. It is proof that you are outgrowing your old life. The loneliness you feel right now is simply the distance between who you used to be and the people who are qualified to meet the person you are becoming. You cannot build a new house on an old foundation, and you cannot invite high-value, healthy relationships into your life until you clear out the emotional clutter occupying that space. The quiet phase you are experiencing right now is not a permanent state. It is a transitional phase. It is the waiting room of personal growth. This lonely stage will not last forever. New people who respect your boundaries will come later. New places that align with your peace will come later. But before those things can arrive, you must prove to yourself that you can survive the quiet without running back to the noise that broke you. Do not run from the silence. Let it clear the room. Remember this when the quiet feels too loud. Loneliness is not the end of healing. It is the middle of it.